Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Okay, I know I'm a little late, but I have to talk about the Golden Bachelorette because there was something there that we need to discuss. There was this moment that left me absolutely stunned. Pascal told Joan he wasn't in love with her, and her immediate reaction was to feel unlovable. Let me say that again. Because one guy didn't feel love for her, she felt unlovable. Look, I get it. Rejection stings, but why would your entire self-worth hinge on someone else's feelings? It's like letting one Yelp review define whether you ever go to a restaurant again. Spoiler alert, someone's going to have a bad experience with the soup, but that doesn't mean it's not a great place for you to eat. Today we're diving into this powerful idea: what other people think of you is none of your business. If that concept makes you tilt your head a little bit like a confused puppy, don't worry, we're going to unpack it and hopefully change the way you look at rejection forever. If that sounds like something you need to hear, stick around because that's what's on the agenda. When someone doesn't feel the same way about you, it's natural to think, what did I do wrong? Maybe you overanalyze your conversations or replay every moment looking for clues. But here's the real truth. It's not about what you did or didn't do. It's about what they feel, or in this case, don't feel. Pascal didn't fall in love. Okay, so what? Doesn't mean that Joan's flawed or that there's something wrong with her. It just means that she wasn't the right fit for him. Think about it. Not every dish at that restaurant is going to be your favorite, right? That doesn't make it a bad dish or a bad restaurant. Just means it wasn't for you. When you internalize rejection, you give someone else way too much power over how you see yourself. Instead of wondering why he didn't feel it, ask yourself this: was he really what I wanted? Did he meet my needs and my expectations? Because if not, you're mourning a relationship that wasn't even right for you. Here's the thing, we all have different tastes. Some people look at a Picasso painting and they see genius. Others see squiggly lines and confusion. You're the same way. Not everyone's going to get you, and that's perfectly fine. When you try to make everyone like you lose the things that make you unique. You start editing yourself, toning down your quirks, and becoming a watered-down version of who you really are. But the truth is, your quirks, the way you laugh, the way you tell stories, the way you see the world are all what make you uniquely you and special. Pascal didn't get her, but that doesn't mean she needs to change anything. She wasn't unlovable. She just wasn't his match, and that's okay. The right person, the one she chose in the end, she doesn't need to explain herself. He saw her value instantly because he was right for her. I had a date some years back, and it was a great date. He was a wonderful person. We really just kind of had a great time together. I really loved his energy. And when I told him I didn't want to see him again. Now, here's a guy, too, that should be really confident. He was a professional football player for years, now retired from the game here in Chicago, and probably dated a lot of beautiful women, and I went out with him. Thanks for allowing me to take a quick moment here. I want to talk about something important and hopefully offer some help. As women, our bodies change over time due to things like aging, menopause, or even childbirth. All these changes can affect our sexual health. That's where our partner, Tabu, comes in. They've partnered with gynecologists, urologists, and pelvic floor specialists to create products that address these common issues like dryness, low libido, fear of sneezing, and even discomfort. Their Golden Hour kit makes sexual health a natural part of our self-care because looking after ourselves doesn't stop with skincare or fitness. What makes Tabu different? Well, these aren't just toys. They're beautifully designed tools backed by experts to help us stay connected to our bodies and maintain a healthy, vibrant sex life at any age. And here's something special just for you. You can get 10% off with the code Carey10 at checkout. Just click the link in my description box below because, well, let's be honest, when it comes to intimacy, it's often a case of use it or lose it. Had a great time, but eventually I told him after a few dates that it wasn't going to be the romantic connection we were probably hoping for, but it was great meeting him and I really enjoyed getting to know him. And he said to me, well, is there anything that I did or anything I could change? And I'm like, why would you want to change who you are for somebody who's already told you that they don't want to be with you? And he said, oh, well, just for the future. And this is exactly what we're talking about. If he were to change to meet what would be perfect for me, that makes him imperfect for the person who's right for him, for the bachelor or bachelorette standing at the end of the show, the final rose recipient. They're not going to be a match if he makes changes along the way for every woman who's not interested in being with him. You see what I'm saying? So instead of trying to be everyone's favorite, focus on being authentic. Because the right person, they'll love the real you, squiggly lines and all. Do you ever catch yourself trying to figure out why someone doesn't like you? I mean, it's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube in the dark. Was it the tone of your voice? Did you laugh too loudly? At your own joke, maybe? Did you share too much about your cat? Stop. Just stop. Their feelings are not your responsibility to decode. People's reactions to you are based on their own experiences, their preferences, and sometimes even their own insecurities. It's not something you can control, and frankly, it's not your job to try. Think about this. How many times have you decided you weren't into someone and it had nothing to do with them in particular? Maybe they reminded you of your ex. Maybe you just didn't feel that spark after a few dates. Did that make them any less worthy? Of course not. It's the same when someone doesn't feel the same way about you. It's not about fixing yourself or changing to fit somebody else's expectations. It's about letting them have their feelings while you focus on living your life. Let me say this loud and clear. Rejection does not define your worth. Yet so many people take it personally, like it's a failing on their part. But think about it. When you're not interested in someone, do you walk away thinking, well, they're just not good enough for me? No, you just know they're not the right fit. The same applies when someone rejects you. It's not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of what they're looking for. And guess what? That's their business, not yours. If Pascal didn't feel it, that's his loss. He was one man with one opinion, and opinions aren't facts. Joan was still the same person she'd been before he said a word. And like Joan, the Golden Bachelorette, we need to stop letting rejection feel like a personal failure. Instead, see it for what it really is. Someone else's preference, not your report card. When you're constantly trying to make everyone happy around you, you can end up losing yourself and you not being happy. And it's exhausting. You bend over backwards, compromising your boundaries, and before you know it, you're just running on empty. And the worst part, it's never enough. People pleasing is a trap because it puts your happiness in someone else's hands. You're always waiting for their approval, and when you don't get it, you feel crushed. But here's the reality. No matter how hard you try, you can't please everyone. Someone will always want something different or something more. So why not focus on pleasing the important person in your life? You. When you're happy with who you are, you stop needing external validation. And honestly, when you stop trying so hard to win over and please other people, you become even more attractive because confidence is magnetic. People are drawn to someone who knows their own value, their own worth, and doesn't need constant reassurance. What they think of you is none of your darn business. This is the mantra you didn't know you needed. What someone else thinks about you, good or bad, is none of your business. Their opinions are shaped by their own experiences, moods, and insecurities, and you can't control it, so why let it control you? Think about it. Have you ever had a negative opinion of someone else that had nothing to do with them? Maybe you were having a bad day, or they reminded you of someone, or people's feelings are messy, and most of the time they're not at all about you. When you let go of trying to manage what others think, you free yourself. You can focus on living authentically, knowing that the people who truly matter will see your worth without you having to prove it at all. Hey, you don't need a 5-star rating from everyone you meet to know you're valuable. Your worth isn't a group project. It's something you define for yourself. And when you base your own self-esteem on external approval, you're always chasing something you can't control. Instead, focus on what makes you proud. Are you kind? Are you resilient? Passionate about things that you love, the people in your life? Build your self-worth from within and on those things, and no one can take that away from you. Not everyone's going to like you. That's okay. Your goal isn't to be universally loved. It's to live a life that feels meaningful to you and the people who matter. They'll stick around. Yep, rejection is tough, but it's not a reflection of your value. So stop tying your self-worth to somebody else's feelings, because what they think of you is none of your damn business. You're not everybody's cup of coffee, and that's your superpower. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, you might want to check out this episode on men over 50 and the 7 feelings that make them fall in love. Well, wait, before you go, give Mom her thumbs up, please. She says it's the only way she'll let me keep doing these videos. And please don't forget to subscribe. Tap that button like it's the last parking spot at Costco. I appreciate you being here today, and until next time, have a good one.